Okay. It's early in the morning for memory stuff. Okay, welcome to TOPS meeting of Pennsylvania South Central. A TOPS pledge. I am an intelligent person. I will control my emotions, not let my emotions control me. Every time I am tempted to use food to satisfy my frustrated desires, build up my injured ego, or dull my senses, I will remember I will take off pounds sensibly. COPS pledge. I am an intelligent person. I will control my emotions, not let my emotions control me. Every time I am tempted to use food to satisfy my frustrated desires, build up my injured ego, or dull my senses, I will remember I am to be an example as I keep off pounds sensibly. Okay, Erica, you said you had good news.
I have good news. Okay, last week I asked you your opinion on how to start up our weigh-in meetings.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need appointments because out of our 15 people that regularly come to meetings, 12 of them will be there.
Nice.
So I only had one that flat out said no. And then I had another one that said maybe. And then the other, she just doesn't come to our Saturday meetings because she says it's too early. 9:30 is too early.
Oh,
So out of 15, we have 12. So that's good.
nice.
So my plan is I'm going to make a banner that says welcome back. I'm going to make out little cards that are like get out of jail free card, that they can use at some point for coming to that first meeting. And, that whole quarantine 15, quarantine 19, quarantine, however many they're saying,
Mm-hmm.
just as a little token that, hey, you were brave enough to come find out what your.
Yes, it is a brave thing. It really is. I mean,
For me, I don't own a scale at home.
yeah.
So, I'm closing my eyes and I'm going to tell my weight recorder, don't say it out loud. Just write it down.
Yes. Yes.
It's
You
not
just
going
want
to
to
be.
go plus or minus.
Yeah, just don't say anything. Just put in the book, close the book, give me the book back.
Yes. Yes, that works. That works. I mean, I've seen on Facebook saying, oh, they're so disappointed in themselves. They gained 1 pound. It's like 1 pound
Oh, yeah,
over
I saw that
3
yesterday.
months. That is awesome.
I'm going 1 pound in 4 months or whatever.
Yeah, 3-4 months. That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, I gained 1 pound every day of 4 months, it seems like.
Yeah, we can do that. It's not hard. Just decrease your water and you'll gain.
So, yeah, I saw that one yesterday. I'm going, oh my God, I wish.
Yeah, I wish, because I am fluctuating anywhere between 3 and 5 pounds every day.
Yeah, that's my friend did that. The weight recorder, when we were talking, she goes, that's what she's dealing with. 5 pounds up, 5 pounds down.
Right. I'm still in leeway, but it all depends on how much water I drink or if I eat enough food. Basically, if you don't eat enough food, your body's not going to let you lose it. It's going to hold on to absolutely everything.
So that was my good news. So
that is awesome news.
Our meeting on Saturday at the park, in the parking lot.
Yes, I'm dealing with people afraid to come back. I have one chapter that she estimates she'll lose half her chapter because of COVID. Not because sick, but because they're in such a high risk category, they're not comfortable ever coming back to a social setting, ever.
I understand that too.
I mean, they've got a huge chapter.
Yeah, but the thing is, Joanne, then the thing is that I think, this is my personal opinion, that TOPS needs to do training seminars on how to, get a Zoom meeting together, conduct a Zoom meeting, how to sign up for a Zoom meeting. It's like, because I'm sorry, this is no pun intended, our people are older and afraid of technology.
Correct.
So the thing is that, I would show my people, but like I said, I would show them, but they wouldn't do it. I can't get them to respond to a text.
Right. I have people very leery and scared of Zoom, but then their adult children don't want them on it, and they listen.
Yeah, I know.
They're trying to protect their parents because
Never
it can be
texted.
scary world. But this week,
Yeah.
the staff, the field staff is having a best practices Zoom meeting. I'm pretty sure this will be brought up to try
Okay.
to get more people in there. If not brought up, I will ask about it.
Because I'm going to bring it up Saturday when,
Right.
as they come in and stuff, I'm going to, pull them aside, do my 6 feet, but ask them, are you interested in, since we, well, now that we're doing this, maybe we won't need it so much because I stay in contact by text
Right.
and email and Facebook.
Right.
So I don't know if I need that, but if it comes down to, like California locking down again,
Right.
then, I'd like to have that as an option because I enjoy doing it with you.
Right. Because I know Tennessee basically went backwards, like you said. I talked to my son, and also they've gone backwards. So but we shall see.
Their practice one.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, the inspirational thought, daily inspiration thought for today is turn off the TV and everything else with a screen while eating. That's hard these days with kids. They're glued to the technology, and it's really, especially an 8-year-old that's starting with a teenage attitude. Oh, yeah. You think you were threatening to kill them, trying to take the electronics away. It's like, wow. But okay, we have this today. We have getting your going back to like the stress portion. The past couple weeks, we talked about boundaries. We talked about SMART goals. So this one is just about boundaries. And these days, we need to set our boundaries. We need to change our boundaries because one, social distancing, the way our new normal has changed so much. So boundaries are basic. When you choose to improve our lives, we often think about the basics of building better health, focusing on nutrition, exercise, and rest. That's a given. While those are excellent aspects of our lives to improve, there are another aspect we should consider is boundaries. And like I said, with the shelter in place, the COVID, our boundaries have changed. So we need to change with them.
Volume, Joanne.
Yes?
Couldn't hear you.
You hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, I'll stand up straight. Get closer to the microphone. But the truth is, boundaries are essential to experiencing wellness because when we live a life with no boundaries, we can feel overwhelmed and stressed. Yeah, I need to work on that too because the feeling of being overwhelmed can basically shut you down. Being stressed can cause us to make unhealthy choices, such as, let's have pizza again tonight. That make us feel worse. Who are you? The simplest way to think about boundaries, to consider what they define, what is us and also what is not us. Boundaries let us understand our roles and our responsibility, and they set up expectations for behavior within our relationships. Most of us have relationships with other people, including friends, family, coworkers, and neighbors. And we need to make our boundaries visible and understood so that they know what is appropriate behavior. And we need to learn to say no. Again, we need to really learn to say no. Our boundaries can help us know what's important to us. But saying no to people is so hard. Beyond this point, there be dragons. I like that saying. There be dragons. The standard definition of boundaries will often include words limit, dividing line, or border. Establishing boundaries let us know what is important to us, acceptable, and what feels comfortable for us. Think about a property line. To go beyond a boundary or to push the limits of a boundary usually results in creating stress or creating something different than what it was. The dictionary talks about a limit being the point at which something ends or beyond which it becomes something else. Unhappy, stressed, overwhelmed, distressed, overwhelmed. You get the picture. when someone crosses or trespasses our personal boundaries, we feel bad. That can lead to bad attitude too, and we can
Hey.
take it out on the people.
I got something I want to say.
Okay,
I have lost in my neck.
I
I've
can
gone
see that.
down. Isn't that wonderful?
So your mask is looser, huh?
Yes.
I can see that. You look great.
Thank you.
And when we feel better, everybody can see it.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
I just opened it up. I said, wait a minute now. Because I don't have
Yeah.
mirrors. I don't have mirrors. So,
So this is your mirror.
this
So
is my
you look
mirror.
great. So you're feeling good, less
I'm
stress.
feeling
this week.
good.
And it takes away a lot of the stress, doesn't it?
It does.
Because you're
And-
going in the right
and-
direction again.
I found yesterday I'm getting around a whole lot better.
Yes, and you're less pain, less stress.
Hmm.
Okay, talk to yourself lately all the time. Intelligent conversation with an intelligent person. Yes.
Don't have anybody else to talk to.
Didn't Mom always say that?
Yeah.
Intelligent conversation with an intelligent person. Have you ever heard yourself say, I can't keep doing this much longer? If you've said this, there is a good chance that you've been doing something that goes against your personal boundaries that you either ignoring or afraid to discuss. Or perhaps you've wondered why someone treated you badly or took advantage of you. Those are those no boundaries, you get taken advantage of. These are situations where boundaries have either been ignored or not set in the first place. Many of us are afraid to set boundaries because, hey, you got off that chair real quickly. That's unusual. That was awesome.
That's good.
It is. Many of us are afraid to set boundaries because we don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, make them angry, or we don't want to be abandoned or avoided. If we don't set boundaries, we end up hurting ourselves. Set up personal boundaries for every part of our lives, our relationships with family members, friends, co-workers, especially with ourselves. Easiest boundary recognizes distance. And we have a new one, social distance. We can separate ourselves from other people by either moving across the country or across the room. A more difficult boundary to set is to establish guidelines for personal relationships or for yourself. You're moving very quickly, which is
Guess
awesome.
what? Yes, I just weighed myself.
What'd you do? We don't know numbers, up or down.
Let's see. Down by 9 points.
How many?
9.
What?
9 pounds. 9 pounds.
Yes! That is awesome. Awesome. That is absolutely awesome. And one of your non-scale victories is your masks aren't tight. That is awesome. You got to start making
Yay!
yourself smaller ones. Okay, you first. Although it may be easier to start reviewing boundaries with regards to other people in your life, the best place to start reviewing boundaries is with yourself. You know you have a boundary issue with yourself if you feel like your behavior is out of control in any area. Amazon is my area. That's out of control. Yeah, that's one of my areas. Overeating, spending too much money. Yep.
Well, you know what I do?
What'd
When
you
I
do?
get my paycheck, I leave exactly what I need for my bills and I take everything out in cash. Then I don't have nothing I can spend online.
That is very true, but yeah, can't do that at this point. I get an allowance, but it's spent before I get it.
That's
Hey,
the problem.
what can I say? I can't go to the store, but but I'm to the point where I do cash at the grocery store, so I know I have a limit, and it has to last a whole week. We're trying. Not being able to say no, failing to manage your time, and failing to complete projects where boundaries issues can arise. The first step to setting boundaries is to understand what you may need to make a list. I make lists and I lose them.
Well,
That's-
yeah.
Yeah, even if they're on my phone, I forget they're on my phone. I'm bad with that.
Well, I make a list. I have no problem. I put it on my phone. but then I don't have to look at my list because I remember it.
Yeah, well, we've got some bad memory here because of
Yeah, I
three
know.
strokes. Yeah.
I know.
Armed with this knowledge, you can start thinking about what situations in your life make you feel like you're doing something that you don't agree with. Then you should try to understand the symptoms, causes, and end result. When we understand the end result of our behavior, we often get inspired to make any necessary changes. This can be a hard thing, especially when you've had TBIs, basically 3 strokes. You don't always have that filter. You don't always have the connections anymore. And it's not just if someone having a stroke, but as people get older, the memories go, and it can be hard setting a boundary because like elderly parents, like my mom, like our mom will never ask advice. She'll just do it. But in a lot of situations, elderly parents consult their kids, and the kids make the decisions, so they're not as independent. If mom ever is not independent, something's wrong.
Yeah.
She still rules us. Yeah.
Well, I'm far enough away. I don't have to worry about it.
Yes, but it's hard to set the boundaries, especially the elderly, when they get to the point where they can't control their own boundaries because they are assisted, which can be and I'm not looking forward to that time in my life. I'm hoping it's 20, 30 years down the end.
Well,
We're trying.
I'm gonna keep going. I'm not gonna go.
Yeah, I'm going to haunt my kids from my wheelchair. I'm gonna haunt my kids from my wheelchair, not from heaven, from my wheelchair.
Absolutely.
Yes. And they want me to do that. They want me to do that. So we're good. Okay, to do this week, think of some areas in your life, areas of events in your life when you feel like you're inadequate in no boundaries. Write them down. It's all about journaling. If you write something down, you're more apt to remember it. Like the teachers would always have us write things over and over and over again. We remembered, didn't we? Because we kept doing it. Think about the final outcome of the events and how you felt or feel about them. Think about establishing boundaries could result in different outcomes. Think about how you will communicate your new boundaries to others, or how you will motivate yourself to honor your own boundaries. Think about the reactions of your family and friends and plan how to defend your boundaries. It's the defending the boundaries to family is the hardest, I've found. Share with your chapter, Jenny. Share with me how your experience and your overall observations about how boundaries impact your life. Discuss strategies to communicate boundaries to families and friends. Tip: the reality is that we all have boundaries, and they influence our lives whether or not they're visible for others to see. It makes sense to take some time to reflect on them and to make sure they're being honored. Please remember the usual outcome when we are in a situation where we feel we have had our boundaries crossed is feeling miserable and drained. We all have a right to enjoy ourselves, so please let others know what's valued to you. Your life can be more enjoyable. You deserve it. Yes, we are worth it. If people keep crossing our boundaries, we can feel like we're being taken advantage of, and no one wants to feel like that. Okay, now you had your good news. Jenny, Erica, you had some great news. Linda, do you have any news for us?
Oh, I don't know. We might possibly have a lead on a new location for our meetings,
That is awesome news.
but we won't know until they have a vote next, it would be the 18th.
Mhm.
But it's a possibility, so things are looking better.
That's good. I mean, you're going forward. That is
Yes.
good. I mean, I'm meeting with another chapter. They're trying to find a new meeting place also because their current meeting place, the church, has closed the entire basement, which is where they meet. So they're not having any community groups at all in that church anymore.
Right.
or at least until the foreseeable future. So they're going into that situation too, trying to find,
That's what our senior center is doing that too. It's like no social organizations. The only ones
Yeah.
coming in are, like the seniors, and it's mainly lunch, and they're bringing that out to them.
yeah, it's hard. I mean, and there's nothing as TOPS we can do about that, because they're trying to safeguard their parishioners. They're trying to safeguard their seniors. It's going to be hard going forward finding places that have the large enough space that can take those precautions to safeguard the community groups that are coming in. That's going to be hard from this, from going forward, and we just have to deal with it. There's nothing we can do about it, unfortunately.
Exactly.
Because we're going to lose a lot of members because they don't feel safe anymore going outside their house or going into a social group setting. And I can't blame them. I mean, they have to do what's best for them and their health and their family. So I mean, I'm starting my group. I mean, I don't have a huge backyard, but we have enough of a backyard that we can social distance. But we're just trying to find a meeting place in the church that will let us start up at, they might not let new groups come in yet. So I'm trying to stay with my town, so it works.
Yeah.
Do
Like
what
I
you
said,
gotta do.
our meeting is in the parking lot of the senior center.
Right. That's good. Well, at least you don't have to find another place. You just have to stay outside until they let you back in. Are they ever going to let you back in?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to let social organizations.
Right.
But I'm going to assume they have to, not have to, but it's a community center senior.
Right.
It's like you can't lock us all out if you're the community center.
Yeah. Then you're not a community center anymore.
Yeah. So I don't know. So like I said, for now, we have a digital scale that runs on batteries. We're going to find a spot under a tree. We'll do our social distancing, disinfectant. Everybody has to wear socks on top of the like we're going to put a towel down on the, like not a towel, but paper towels on the scale for them to stand on. You've got to wear your socks. We change the paper towel with each member, so.
Yep. Yeah, that's the main thing is a lot of people weigh in their bare feet because they don't want that extra gram of their socks.
Yeah. Well,
You got to have socks on.
Yeah, we do that, but you got to bring, it's like lay the paper towel down, then you stand on that, then the paper towel goes with you.
Yes. But yeah, it's going to be a challenge trying to safeguard everybody and still weigh in.
Yeah, it's going to be different.
Yeah, because I have a canopy and that we can weigh in under there, but once we sit down, I mean, there's only at this point 3 people plus my coordinator and hopefully a leader from another chapter. So we'll all have our own chairs, but then of course I have the best practices webinar with my coordinator. We're going to stay here at my house. We're going to have a big old fan blowing on us because who knows how hot it's going to be. But
Exactly.
technically she shouldn't be in my house. Yeah. I mean, but
Just
we
wear
have
your
enough
mask.
space in my living room, but my house is only so big. I have half a house.
Well,
Yeah.
if nothing else, wear your mask.
Yep. Yeah, we'll still have our mask on until we can't breathe anymore. Depends on the weather. So, but
Yeah, like I said,
okay.
we're just doing weigh in. You weigh in and you can leave. That's
Right.
all we're doing right now. It's just,
Yeah. Yeah.
this
Our first meeting.
Yeah.
Our first meeting is just paperwork. Basically, we have to vote in the leader, the officers chart, and set up everything and weigh everybody in. That's it.
Okay,
I'm hoping I have a new member, but I haven't been able to get a hold of her. So,
Joanne,
we'll see.
I have a question.
Sure.
Okay, like they canceled elections for this year, right?
Right.
So we have to still fill out a new form?
If it hasn't changed, well, that I'd have to ask, but because
we
there's
have
no new elect, you still have to do your audit. as soon as you
No,
can.
we did the audit, but do I have to fill out the L form?
If there's no change, I would think not, but I can confirm that and let you know.
Okay,
Um,
'cause
be-
we're not changing. We're keeping everything as is.
Right. There are chapters that, because of the COVID, their officers are
Right.
quitting, so they will have to. But
Right.
let me, where's my phone? Let me ask I'll ask her right now while we're on here.
Okay.
Okay. Question. If there is no change in the officers chart, do they still need to submit a new one for the 2020-21 year? Find out.
All right.
Yeah, she works from home, so she can answer my text. But yeah, she's still teleworking. We're good. But the biggest problem, a lot of our staff are like bus drivers, and will they even have a job to go back to in the fall?
Yeah, exactly. Because I know LA County, the school teachers are ready to go on strike because they don't want to go back into the classroom.
Wow.
And if they
Wow.
do that, then I know that all the other school districts will follow suit. They want,
Yeah.
they like they said, it's not that we don't love our kids, we do, but we're not trained to handle children and teach during COVID.
Correct. They need some more training. The health department needs to set up some training for the teachers. And
Yeah,
I
and
don't blame them. I mean,
Yeah, you have the parents are saying, well, what's the problem? Just wear, wear their mask and do the hand sanitizing and blah, blah, blah. And like one teacher responded, she goes, I'm going to do that for 35 kids.
yeah, the classrooms are too big.
Yeah. And then, like she said, I know that's not what I went to college for. And no. And that's why I said the whole school district in LA, because
Right.
I'm in San Bernardino County.
Yeah.
Right. But like I said, if LA, if they get what they want, then I know a lot of school districts are going to follow suit, and we'll be back to 100% online.
Well, we have good news. The school district I live in, they had graduation ceremonies finally for their seniors. No one could be, no guests. It was just the students and the faculty and their masks, and it was basically online, a live graduation, but no guests, no nothing. There's,
Yeah,
there's only so many seats in the stadium, so everybody was.
We had ours outside here for Juliana when she had her June 6th. It was
Right.
And they had it in front of the Dawson Stadium. It's on YouTube right now, and they had a bunch of people there, but they went through in their cars. They came out and received their diploma, had a picture taken, and then back in their car.
Yep, total social distancing. It was good. I mean, they're finally, the seniors are getting their day.
Yes.
And it took a long time to get here.
Yeah. And I was there. There's quite a few people that were there, but they were distancing like supposed to.
Right.
So.
It just disturbs me. A lot of craft fairs and expos that are outside. I don't see people with masks on. It's like,
I know.
It scares me. They're
It
not
is.
being.
Yeah.
I mean, I wear a mask to protect you, and you wear a mask to protect me. I mean,
but then you have those that says you're violating my rights.
Unfortunately, an emergency order, they don't care. It's emergency orders, supersedes.
Yeah, but they don't care. We've got quote, those people they're calling Karen that want to, threaten to sue dental offices because they want them to wear a mask. Yeah.
I mean, they're in your mouth. You're going to be unmasked, but it's like they're always gotta have a mask on when they're leaning over you. What's so different about you having a mask to protect them?
Yeah,
I just don't get it.
It doesn't help when the president goes online with no mask.
Yeah, no.
It doesn't help at all.
Yeah.
That sends a mixed message.
Yeah, but I mean, the public can enforce it, but I mean, it's only, I would want to protect my kids. I wouldn't want to be exposed to something and then hug my kids.
Yep.
Really, it's like, but
Like I said,
that's a lot of it's political, so we can't go there.
yeah, no, I'm not gonna go there either. My thing is this: is that I wear, like I said, I have to wear a mask at work. I wear a mask whenever I go into, like I probably went to more stores this weekend than I've gone in 4 months. And I wore my mask, and I told my son, and he lives in Memphis, I said, have bail money ready, because the first person that says something to me about my mask is going to get punched in the throat.
Is he military?
He was.
Then he really likes you, because they're always like throat punch, man.
Yep, that's what I said, is like, because I mean, you see those things on Facebook, where
Yes.
they're calling you names, they're this, that, and the
Yes.
next thing. And then, okay, well, you know what? Since you don't have a problem and you got your kid here, let me breathe on your kid. I
Oh
don't care about
no. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, my thing is this. Basically, that's what you're saying. I can
Yes.
breathe on your kid. I
Yeah.
know.
But
So,
I'll
yeah,
tell you, face mask breath is the god awful. It's so awful.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I mean, there's a lot of people I just zoom on through, just bloop, 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 bloop. But
Yeah.
like I said,
Well, at least you can't smell the perfume counter or anything anymore. It's like you just can't
Yeah.
smell it anymore,
yeah,
because you're holding your nose the entire time. No
Yeah.
more.
But
You
like-
can't smell the perfume anymore.
yeah. Well, I wasn't going to those stores. I was going to Home Depot and Lowe's.
Yes.
and
So
you
I'll
just
tell you,
smell
the
it.
fertilizer aisle you can still smell it.
Yeah, exactly. So no, my mask is on. My mask will be on for God knows how long.
Mm. Yeah.
And if our numbers keep going up, we'll probably be at home again.
Right. Right.
But-
That's
Because they're going up. They're going up, 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 up.
well. I took a picture. Where is it? For Mike. Where is it? Yes. The Pennsylvania. Yeah, my county is low. I mean, we have
Yeah.
confirmed 947, only 66 deaths. And the other counties they're listing is way, way more than that. So we're good. A lot of it is, I mean, my friend and I, we're watching the CDC numbers, because the media is skewing numbers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You got to look at the actual numbers. A lot of it, there's, and a lot of it, there's a lag in the test results, but you realize they're reporting the amount of cases confirmed, but how many thousands of more are confirmed negative?
Yeah,
They're not, you know, they're
California, we're running out of tests.
right.
So.
Our CVS is doing tests in their offices. But from what I hear, it's almost like having a brain swab. They go really far back.
They do, because I know nurse that I have, she wasn't feeling well, and I mean, she's a nurse, and she was giving those tests, and then she had to have tests. She goes, "I will be so gentle in the future when I go back to work."
Yes, because it feels like that. But a friend of mine, I have to say, she works in she's in Florida. She works in a nursing home. She was tested positive with no symptoms, so asymptomatic, and she was able to go back to work the night before last. She tested negative. She is so happy to be back to work again. She's convinced it was a false positive, and that happens with every test. But she had to self-quarantine in the house with her husband. God, I wouldn't be able to do that. We drive each other crazy.
Yeah, I could do that, but the part that I would, and then I mean it facetiously, the only part that I would really enjoy about self-quarantine, everybody in my family would have to cater to me.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You get spoiled.
Oh yeah. Can you bring me a bottle of water? can you do this? Can you do, oh God.
It's not
I would-
cold enough. Can you give me a cold bottle of water?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the only thing I would look forward to if I had it.
Yeah, well, we can joke about it now, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
not
I-
funny, but I mean,
not.
we have
No,
to
'cause
have
I-
some levity somewhere.
Yeah, I told you, my daughter, my stepdaughter, we quarantined her for 2 weeks because we didn't know what she had. It wasn't any
Right.
of the symptoms of COVID, right?
Mhm.
It said she started out and she had 4 little round circular things on her back, which she
Hmm.
still did with 4 months later. It is not gone. It's bigger.
Wow.
And about 2 weeks after she got that, her mouth just ulcerated.
Wow.
Like, her whole entire mouth was like a million canker sores.
Mm.
So that went away. And like I said, we're still putting medicine on her back, but now they give us a tube that's about 3 inches long, about a ½ inch wide to put medicine on her back. And basically it's her whole back now. And it's not,
Do
like I
they
said,
test anything? Do they
No,
even know what it is?
no, because we can't get her into a doctor's office. It's just, it's video conferencing and here, let me
Right.
see.
They can't do tests because
Yeah.
they don't
The
want
only-
it exposed to anything. It's like, well, what if it's something serious?
Yeah, but the only thing is that the only thing that we've gotten out of the doctors is that it is viral.
Right.
Now, okay, so when I put her medicine on, I never touch it. I use a Q-tip, because, hey, it's viral. But with all the different symptoms that are coming up with COVID, we don't know if this is COVID or not, because like
Right.
you've heard about the COVID toes,
Yeah.
so we don't know if this is a symptom of that either. And like I said, I took the first pictures for her to show the doctor on March 14th
Mhm.
was the first. And I bet you I can take a picture now and you're going, oh my gosh.
Right. It's almost like she's got ulcers all over her body.
No, I wouldn't even say, like in her mouth, it was the canker sores. I
Right.
mean, it was atrocious looking. But on her back, what it started was like the size of a quarter. Or when I first saw it, it was the size of quarters and it was very scaly.
Hmm.
Okay. But then it just spread and one quarter size ran into the other and it's just ridiculous.
Wow.
But like she has not once been in the doctor's office.
Wow. I'd say take that picture and Google search on it.
We tried that. It didn't come
It
up.
works. Wow.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, because we can't get it to come up, it's like, okay, well, I don't know. Like I said, I tell her, I says, put your laundry in one place. We wash everything. We still quarantine that. We just don't make her stay in the room anymore. It's like,
You know what
I don't-
I would do? Email that picture to the CDC.
I didn't even think about that. I can do
I'll
that.
say, hey, we're not allowed to go to the doctor's office because she's sick. So what am I supposed to do? She's getting worse.
Yeah, exactly. I'll do that. I'll do that today.
What about an emergency room?
They, like I said, all they'll do, they won't, I don't know. It's like we've had several visits to the emergency room. And the thing is that it's just a quick in and out. They're not, as I say, they're not thorough in what they're doing.
They
Oh
want
my
you.
goodness.
They want you out as soon as possible.
Yeah, because my husband, when he had in a situation with his blood pressure, and he never had high blood pressure, they gave him anxiety medication.
For
Really?
Lord's
Not blood
sakes.
not blood pressure medication, anxiety medication.
Wow. Well, that's what they're
So-
seeing a lot of is anxiety, and it's interfering with our health.
Yeah,
But they
So,
can't blanket
blood-
say, yes,
He's on-
anxiety.
yeah, but he's on blood pressure medicine now.
Good.
We finally, again, we didn't so much see a doctor, but I went and I got a blood pressure thing at the drugstore. We started monitoring it 3 times a day. He was logging, okay, from this point to this point, I did this, this, and this. It was a thorough journal.
Right.
And
It
he
could
was
be something he's doing that's causing it, or eating, or
I know, but the thing is, Joanne, he didn't have a problem before that one episode.
yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, my blood pressure is creeping up, because
Yeah.
he has that pain pump, so he's at the doctor regularly.
Yeah.
Blood
Yeah.
pressure
Our
was-
new normal is terrible. Our new
Yeah, so
normal is terrible.
But you know, he's on blood pressure medicine now, and
That's good.
he's not taking anxiety medication anymore.
That's
Good.
good. Because I'll tell you, anxiety, depression medicine or anxiety, the side effects are they can cause more anxiety, they can cause more depression. So why
Exactly.
give it to us? So,
Exactly.
but okay, well, we've got good news from everybody. I love it, you know.
And
I'm doing good, sort of, yeah, but we're good.
so
I've got an expo, but
you're doing an expo?
yeah, well, I'm have a tops table at an expo,
Oh yeah, I saw
50
the
plus
thing on-
expo. And they've cut down the amount of vendors, which is great. And I have to bring my own disinfectant to wipe down everything before I leave. And I can set up tomorrow, the day before, so we don't have, and they won't help you set up. They'll sanitize the carts between each vendor. So, but I told my husband, I said, I'm not going to be around. Okay, answer. Since elections don't need to be held August
No volume.
valid. So you didn't, unless you make a change, you do not need to fill out a new one.
Can't hear you, Joanne.
Now can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I didn't cover anything. Okay, you do not need a new officer chart unless
Okay.
there's a change to it.
Okay,
Okay.
got it.
But yeah, I mean, I told my husband, I won't visit my friend that I normally go to on Thursdays until the week after, just in case. So, but you never know, because it's a 50 plus, so it's gonna be elderly people. And I'm hoping they're gonna take temperatures before anybody comes in, but who knows? So
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's gotta be safe, so.
yeah. Well, I just took my temperature and it's 97 point something. I'm always below normal. No.
Yeah, you're like my mom. My mom was like that. If she got ill, her temperature would go down, not up.
Yeah,
So she could catch, you know, like she'd catch a cold and her temperature's like 95, but that would
Yeah.
be the equivalent of 100 and something.
Yeah, well, this no. If I go past normal, 98.6, I'm sick.
yeah, like with my grandson, 99 is a fever for him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because he's like a degree below our normal. The average, it's an average. The average is not our normal. You know, so, okay, never quit pledge. Today I promise I will not quit. I pledge that no matter how many ups and downs I pass through, I will continue on my journey. I pledge to make a new start today and forgive myself for my past and to stop being so critical of myself. I pledge to take control of myself, to stop making excuses, and to stop blaming other people or situations. I pledge to treat myself as I would my best friend because that is who I am. I pledge to stay in the race and to be a winner. And we are all winners. So we are doing great. Hopefully I will see you out all again next Wednesday. You guys have a great week.
you
You won't
too.
see me Wednesday, but you'll see me Monday.
Yes, you will.
All right.
Bye.
Have a week.
Yeah.